It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Williams Brothers Brewing Company, and it's a can of their Klute West Coast IPA, coming in at 5.6% ABV. This has been exclusively brewed for Aldi stores in the UK. Without further ado, let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. I picked this up in my local Cardiff Aldi's, Culverhouse Cross. I enjoyed the previous two beers I recently did from Williams Brothers. They were quite good. I've got them there in the door. The Rubus and the Benno. The Grapefruit IPA and the Craft Lager. It was pretty decent stuff. Hence me going back and buy it. As soon as I see more and a different range, I thought, well, I'm going to go for that. Give them a go. So we got a 3-finger whitehead. Good levels of carbonation. It's very clear to look at, but at the same time it's unfiltered. There's small particles floating around in the beer. It's a light golden amber coloured beer. Beautiful carbonation, look at that. Let's get the aroma. It smells like it's bogged down by the malt a little bit, this one. Quite malty, and then you got a small hint of the grapefruitness of the, I say the grapefruitness, the hops that are coming through on the back end. But being a West Coast IPA, I don't know yet, I suppose it is a little bit dank. Maybe they've used some rye malt in here, it's a little bit spicy. Peppery in the aroma with a small amount of grapefruit. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's pleasant. It's a pleasant enough beer. Whether they can call it a West Coast IPA, I don't know. Let's be clear. I think I paid something like £1.50 for this beer. So the amount of ingredients you're going to get for a 5.6% beer at £1.50 is going to be I can't even say the word. Negligible. I can read it in my mind. Oh, anyway, there's not going to be that much in terms of ingredients, raw ingredients gone into this beer. Negligible. Negligible. I can't say it. I give up. I'm going red. On a serious note, let's get back to it. It's malty, it's biscuity, it's bready. The fact that I'm swirling the beer around the inside of the mouth just to try and give this beer a chance, just to try and... I'm trying to eke the hops out of it, but they're just not there. They're just not... It's not nowhere near enough to call it a West Coast IPA. But it's 5.6% ABV. It's drinkable. There's no off flavours. I would say it's more a maybe a strong bitter, maybe like a English strong ale or something like that at 5.6. It's no way West Coast IPA. Let me explain West Coast IPA, because I know I've picked up a lot of new followers over the last few months. It's been a fantastic year on the channel, really. West Coast IPA, to the newcomers. West Coast of America, they dump a load of hops in the beer, in the boil and in the fermenter, and it just creates this rampaging bitterness on the beer, like a raging, mauling tiger of a bitterness on your palate. And then there's all sorts of grapefruit and mango and citrus and punchiness coming through, and you're like, wow, this is like amazing beer. It's just not happening. It's the raging bitterness is just not there. The raging kind of grapefruits and orange peels and fleshy blood orange are just not there. But for £1.50, it's a pretty pleasant beer. Just forget about that part. If I put my finger over that part, buy it as Williams Brothers Klute, and don't kind of expect too much from the beer, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it, trust me. But don't go into it thinking you're drinking a... If you know an awful lot about beer, or you've got a relative knowledge about beer, don't go into it thinking you're drinking a West Coast IPA. Let's see how they describe it. This clean, cool West Coast IPA is brewed with a US ale yeast and pours golden in the glass. A slightly sweet malt character builds before unleashing, here we go, and here's the marketing, unleashing the citrus burst of the classic combination of Citra, Mosaic and Chinook hops. Okay, it's not a West Coast IPA, it's an okay beer. And the reason I'm being so lenient about the beer, you all probably seen the Star Wars beer I did last week, and I was raging. I was really angry, kind of, with the missed opportunity with that beer. This beer's from a discount supermarket that prides itself on selling stuff to you for cheap that's relatively good. It's okay stuff. None of it's gonna poison you, type of thing. I shop in Lidl, Aldi, Home Bargains, B&M. I'm one of those. I say one of those. Ain't we all? Try not to sneeze. It's an unoffensive, strongish British bitter is what it is. So for that reason, I'm going to give it 2 ratings. I'm going to rate it as a West Coast IPA first, and I'm going to give it a rather appalling 3 out of 10. But because it's a discount beer at a discount supermarket, and it tastes okay, and if you can get over the fact that it's not a West Coast IPA, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Can you see my mindset? Can you see where I'm going with this? That about wraps up the review. Thanks for watching. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.